People drink alcohol for various reasons: socializing, relaxation and stress relief, coping mechanism, celebration, and so on. Let's make a general overview of the brain changes that occur at each stage of intoxication. Before we start, it's important to say that the effects of alcohol on the brain can vary from person to person. Level 1. The buzz. Starting point of this level of alcohol intoxication is the frontal lobe. Alcohol enhances the activity of gamma-aminobutyric acid, an inhibitory neurotransmitter, which reduces neuronal activity in the mentioned frontal lobe. Also, alcohol decreases the activity of glutamate, an excitatory neurotransmitter, which further reduces neuronal activity. Our frontal lobe is responsible for executive functions such as planning, decision-making, and inhibition. At this stage, other areas of the brain that control behavior and decision-making may still be functioning normally. The net effect of these changes is a feeling of relaxation and euphoria. Level 2. The Tipsy. Gamma-aminobutyric acid activity in the brain continues to increase, which further depresses brain function. At this level, alcohol involves the cerebellum. The cerebellum is responsible for motor coordination. Alcohol interferes with the transmission of signals between neurons in the cerebellum, leading to impaired balance, coordination, and reflexes. Level 3. The drunk. Intoxication starts to affect the hippocampus, which is responsible for our memory and spatial navigation. The hippocampus's activity is suppressed, which could lead to impaired memory formation and recall. The brain's ability to process information is significantly impaired. Speech becomes slurred, and coordination and balance are affected significantly. Impulsive behavior appears. Level 4. The sloppy. At this stage, the effects of alcohol on the brainstem become more pronounced. The brainstem controls vital functions such as breathing and heart rate, and alcohol depresses neuronal activity in this area, leading to a decrease in respiratory rate and heart rate. The individual may also experience nausea and vomiting due to the effects of alcohol on the chemoreceptor trigger zone, which is responsible for initiating the vomiting reflex. The cerebellum becomes crucially impaired, leading to stumbling and loss of coordination. More impact comes to the hippocampus, and memory loss is highly likely. Level 5. The blackout. This stage means the individual has consumed a dangerous amount of alcohol. The brain is severely impaired. Alcohol affects the functioning of the brain by interacting with several different neurotransmitters, receptors, and other chemicals. Gamma-aminobutyric acid is at high and slows down the activity of neurons and reduces brain activity. Alcohol disrupts the normal functioning of neurons in the hippocampus, making it difficult for the brain to encode new information into long-term memory. The individual may experience a significant loss of memory. The prefrontal cortex is harmed severely, so the individual experiences a loss of inhibitions, judgment, and impaired motor coordination. The cerebellum is impaired severely, so the individual is barely walking, standing, and maintaining their balance. The brain stem, which controls basic life functions such as breathing and heart rate, is heavily affected, which can lead to dangerous complications such as respiratory failure, coma, or even death due to the effects of alcohol on the brain stem and other vital functions. Alcohol chronic use and repetitive blackouts will damage the brain in long term. Alcohol consumption can lead to various levels of intoxication, each with its own distinct effects on the brain and body. It's essential to remember that alcohol affects everyone differently, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach to drinking. Nevertheless, excessive and long-term alcohol use can have serious consequences on overall health and well-being. Stay hydrated and never drink and drive.